John.
Hello, Oliver.
Now today we're going to talk about the St. Stephen's Green Shopping Centre. We had a look at it, we visited it, we took a few pictures, we took some video. The actual Stephen's Green Shopping Centre was the old, I think it was where the old Dandelion Market was in Dublin.
That's right.
It was also the Slazanger family owned the actual site that was there when it was a Dandelion.
That's the tennis crowd, tennis racket.
That's right, they owned the Paris courts.
I used to have one of their rackets when I was in playing tennis. I was good at that.
They owned the Paris court gardens down in Wicklow as well. That's what they owned.
Oh, that's right, yeah, the big mansion.
Yeah, so that was sold anyway. So the cost of acquiring the site and building St. Stephen's Green Shopping Centre in 1989 was only £15 million.
That was a lot of money at that time.
It was actually, okay, and it was actually a few things happened at that time. They actually put the paving down on Grafton Street for the first time in 1989. Around the same time the shopping centre was opened, there was a big hullabaloo about it. The Chicago pizza pie factory came from America. They moved into the ground floor, the basement in St. Stephen's Green Shopping Centre.
Yes.
Benetton was the anchor tenant, which is still there today.
Good.
And so the actual building, we're going to talk about it anyway. Go ahead.
We will, yeah. Well, we noticed, and I would have spent many a time in the Stephen's Green Shopping Centre in the 80s. When it opened and later on, because it was lovely. Now it still is lovely in its own way. The decor and etc. is second to none. The way it was designed is second to none. It has light coming in from glass, which is very hard to maintain. And we noticed that they have equipment that can clean the insides of the window, but because of the outside, it would be very hard actually to clean that. You'd probably need something that would have long brushes or something. But overall, my impression was that it was they spent money on that shopping centre, and don't forget it was built at a time. It was a vote of confidence in the future of Dublin and the future of spending that type of money and getting a return.
Absolutely.
So that was a vote of confidence, and I'll put it this way quite simply, although we didn't refer to it, that it has led to the development of Dublin, which is a hell of a lot better than it was, we'd say, when that opened. Mm-hmm. Don't forget you didn't have the Financial Services Centre at that time. There's a whole heap of development along the quays that didn't happen. So once it happened in Stephen's Green, there was a Dandelion Market, and I knew it, and as far as I'm concerned, it was like a derelict site. It was so depressing. I think when it was perhaps with ladies, they might want to go there. John Malone never had any interest in going to such a place. It was too like derelict, and like, as far as I can, like a tenement, quite frankly. So the Stephen's Green Shopping Centre was a great vote of confidence. All I remember in Stephen's Green was there was a cinema there, which we used to go to. It was very convenient. None of this business have to queue up like you had to do in Dublin. When you were bringing a lady friend to the pictures and forking out, like, you'd have to queue. So that took away from the romantic notion, and you queuing perhaps in a supper rain coming down, and some fella playing a tin whistle and expecting you to put something in his whatever it was going about. Mm-hmm. So you're going to be minding something when you could have a mineral. Don't forget these things. So now the Stephen's Green Shopping Centre, as far as I'm concerned, was one of the first and one of the best. It still has that quality, but because there's so much competition now in the business of shopping centres and super, that they all can't do business. I'll give an example. Drogheda has about 4 or 5 shopping centres. 1 or 2 would have been enough, or sorry, Dundalk and Drogheda as well. With the result that once that was good, is now kind of nearly gone derelict. So the planners or the county council, whoever is responsible for this plethora of shopping centres, has done a slight disservice. The one on the north side, which is Blanchardstown, that has kind of stood the test of time and has expanded beyond all recognition, that shopping centre appears to be doing well. It's always packed with cars and shoppers. So it's bucked the trend, but there would be other shopping centres that wouldn't have handled like that kind of footfall.
Well, I can tell you, John, that the one thing, free parking is a big thing. Like, we were in St. Stephen's Green Shopping Centre.
Right.
Okay, and we were there for less than 2 hours, and it cost $7.80 for the parking.
You might say €8, €4 an hour.
Exactly. I mean, and
It's too much.
we weren't even. We were probably there maybe an hour and 20 minutes. We didn't stay
Correct.
the full hour.
Yes, and
And
all we were doing was just visiting Stephen's Green and taking some shots of that and the tranquil area of it, because we were in more or less before the rush this morning. And it's always a good time to see the city at its best.
Well, see, I mean, if you one thing I do like about the actual car park at the very very top floor is you can see all over Dublin City. I mean, you've seen all the cranes today, all the building work that's going on in the city. It's
and
amazing.
big building work going on, not just sort of for houses. I saw trains like that when I was abroad there in November. I'll be just talking about that shortly. But it is quite a big number of cranes, and obviously big buildings going up, because Dublin, compared to what it was, is sometimes not recognisable for the beauty and for the wealth and the, what would I call it, the support for the build these buildings, and they're all thriving and working. And there's more hotels in Dublin than ever there was.
Absolutely.
In other parts of the country where there was hotels, there's none now because they haven't got the footfall, or they haven't got the tourists that keep talking about we're getting tourists. I think they got more tourists, twice as many visiting Notre Dame Cathedral in France as are coming to this country.
Yeah, I think like we were looking today, and we were looking at the ironwork. I mean,
It was superb.
and the balconies, the lovely balconies.
Yeah, lovely design. It was very well designed. It was a lot of thought put into it and money.
There is, and as you're coming down, when you leave the car park upstairs and you're coming down the escalator, one of them is the fastest escalator I was ever on.
You might say speedy. And
The other one beside it going up, leaving is slow. Have you noticed? Did you know? Yeah.
That's right. And the one then going into the to the where the shops are slow. And I think that people in business want to have another look at Stephen's Green, because it really is a gem compared to the soulless places that's around shopping centres.
It is, but you know what? I mean, they do.
It has a design, and the design I mentioned to you, no matter what, a design is very pleasing to the eye.
Yeah, someone described it. I tell you, someone described it as if you look at the outside of St Stephen's Green shopping centre, they described it as a Mississippi steamship crossed with a botanical glasshouse.
Correct. Yeah, it has that, but I have to say that it was a joy in the 80s, early 90s, to go in and see something of that calibre when everything else appeared to have been a bit shoddy in my view.
Yeah.
These supermarkets are soulless places, whereas I think that Stephen's Green Shopping Centre has that quality of elegance that's missing in an awful lot of places. It still has it. It just needs a bit of faith by the people that's perhaps running it, and the people that are not putting their shops into it. They should support that blinking place. It's superior to an awful lot of shopping centres.
I think, look, as far as I know, it's Irish Life that owns it, okay? And they bring in 8 million per year in rental, right? So I think what they need to do is, there are areas of decline. You can see the floor needs to be redone. You can see the stairs when you're going down that needs to be redone. And there's a few things they could do to revamp
There's
it.
one very important thing, and that is free parking for an hour.
Free
Bring in
parking
your
for the
customers.
first hour would be a great thing.
That's where you get your customers. Use the brain between your ears.
Yeah.
People are in cars. There's a fine big car park with 9 stories or something. You're up in the sky with the huggy by the time you get up to the top of it. You could get dizzy up there.
When you go into the 2 restaurants
And
upstairs,
you're talking at these cranes and all the rest of it, and all the buildings. So you're looking at spires and domes and theatres throughout the country, as Wordsworth said in London.
yeah.
When he wrote a poem about it. We could have wrote a poem. Pity we weren't in a poetic mood as we were looking at that lovely scene this morning. And the sun's shining. It's winter, so it's obviously not up high. It's kind of slanting at you and maybe blinding you in the eyes because it's so low down. But it was shining as we were viewing that
Yeah.
lovely view. These are one of the perks in Dublin that you don't get in other cities. If you do, you have to fork out big money.
That's the thing. If you look at the 2 restaurants that are at the corner, the entrance, they're at the top upstairs, and there's a lovely view of over to St Stephen's Green. But when you're looking at the actual ironwork, this is where they need to do a little bit of work.
Well, that's the outside ironwork. That's correct.
It needs.
They need that, but look, the most important thing, quite frankly, is free parking for at least an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, push the boat out to say 2 hours.
I'm
Now,
just,
the trouble is you might get people using it not for to go to the shopping centre, but for some other nefarious reasons, supporting some other place.
yeah.
They would have to produce something that would indicate that they were in the Stephen's Green shopping centre. Tie it in with that. Dunn Stores did it in some store, I think in Daughter Dundalk. You pay your parking downstairs, but if you spend X amount, only €10 or something up there, you're able to give the docket in and you don't have to pay on them.
Yeah. Just when I was in the restaurant, I looked out the window and you could see algae growing on the ironwork. But I think what it really needs more than anything else, apart from the free parking, which is a great idea, right? I think the whole place needs a complete a paint job. It really
Well, I
does.
suppose that would be, but that certainly cost a bit. But certainly it has the what I call the beauty of its design.
It has
that,
absolutely, yeah.
and really that's what impressed me years ago, and it still even impressed me today. So it hasn't lost that allure as far as I'm concerned, and it has the escalators going up, so you're not sort of having to walk upstairs and all the rest of you, a hump in your back. It just has the escalator. So as far as I'm concerned, I give it a vote of confidence, and I suggest that they give it a bit of a paint job where it's required, and give free parking for at least an hour, and stop this €4 then thereafter. Try and be a bit sensible, but tie it in with something that's spent in the Stephen's Green shopping centre, so it's not abused by others that are going to go elsewhere.
And of course, it's beside a beautiful park. The
Stephen's Green, the Stephen's Green itself. The
it's
park,
beside the park.
and the ducks and all the rest of it.
Yeah. So it's
And you couldn't ask for a better amenity on your doorstep. And then you're at the top of Grafton Street, the premier street in the country. Okay, it's gone not as good as it was in my view, because there's a lot of family stores that are no more there. So that's what makes it. That's what makes a street. It's not all kind of foreign-owned stores that makes a street. It's Irish stores that makes a street, and makes it that you can connect with it. I can't connect with some of the stores I saw going down the street. I wouldn't know nothing about them.
that's it.
And I wouldn't go into them to buy at it either. I want to go into a place that a person knows what I'm saying.
That's it. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you very much, Albert.